What's up, guys? Welcome to tonight's live stream. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry about the 3 or 4 minute delay. We're working on that. We're setting some stuff up. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Gonna move some things around, make sure the stream's all looking good, get some audio checks in, and hopefully we have no camera issues tonight. Hopefully. Yep, welcome anybody who's new to the stream. Tonight we're going to be going over and talking about big ass props. You can see I have a little bit of an arrangement of big swords I've made and larger props, things that wouldn't fit on really any 3D printer, and I kind of want to go over ways to print them, methods to print them, printers I've used, how you combine them, how you fuse them, how you smooth them out. Do you make them heavy and solid and thick, or do you make them hollow? So I kind of want to talk about all that and where to start, because obviously it can be intimidating trying to print something this big right off the gate. So let's just do some checks and get everything set up, get the chat running. Damn, the chat is blowing up. Welcome, everybody. All right, let's see. I'm going to just scroll through. Make sure nothing crazy's going on and missing anything. I got the backup camera, webcam set up. At some point, we'll turn the lights on. Right now, it's a little bit of a dim lighting to set the mood. So, yes. What's up? All right, chat is coming through. I like it. We have 32 viewers. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. But only 8 likes. That's no fun. If anybody over here is watching on my TikTok stream, you might want to come over and join the YouTube live stream. I got it set up over there. So, oh god, the stream just looked like it froze. It scared me. Oh. Yeah, setting the mood. We have an arc reactor as a light. You do. So I kind of forgot that when I fully charged the 12-volt battery pack, those are so damn bright, but it's awesome. So, God, I kind of have a quick switch thing set up. So if the stream drops, I'm going to try to be animated so I can catch it in the corner of my eye if the camera freezes. I've had my cam 4-link off basically all day, unplugged. Maybe it's an overheating issue. We're still working out bugs. So I'm working at it. Dusansos doesn't, I don't know. You're welcome for replying to your message the other day. What is 3D printing? What even is 3D printing? Underwater basket weaving. The Iron Man behind you is awesome. The Mark 85, the best. You are the best. Thanks, man. Real quick. So, drop wire. This is your helmet kit. Yours and Jeets and everybody who helped develop this. So I printed it in one shot. This looks like something you could buy. Isn't this cool? So this came out beautifully. It's going to motorize a helmet that is hiding back there, and we're gonna deal with that later. So my buddy and I printed a great sword and longsword from MHW. Both have failed. The GS is just too heavy, and then the LS blade seems kept opening up even with metal rod going through. Interesting. Oh, don't forget to make Chris a mod. Chris, where are you? There you are, Chris. I got some new mods in the Discord, so I have to grant some powers, if you will. Crash Workstops 3D. Go check them out. If you want to drop a link into your GitHub or whatever for this helmet motorization kit, there's a whole tutorial for it. There's no video tutorial for it yet, but they did a great job. It'll help you motorize an Iron Man helmet, and you can use these parts. You can follow along in the other motorization video I did, and the whole kit is awesome. This is cool. This is going to change the game. So thank you guys for developing that, and a lot more to come with that. So I bought an Under 5 Plus and hold you 100% responsible. So consider that a success. Hey, you're welcome, Hosa. How can I print TPU? That's a very loaded question. Unfortunately, we're not going to be covering flexible materials in this stream. This is more about bigger props. You would never print something like this out of TPU. So, yes. Yes. More wrenches. Yes, please drop a link. Yeah, please definitely drop a link. Damn, the camera looks great right now. So, you want to print some big stuff. Unfortunately, all my printers are currently going right now. My ender is off, isn't it? I could go check on I could go pull the ender out. I hate to do this. I'll be right back. Bed for an ender, bed for a CR10, bed for an Under 5 Plus. All right. 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 just about do it. Okay. And we're back. Sorry about that. Some of my printers are off, so I actually went and grabbed some build plates. We have 3 different build plates here. So, questions. Cool. Is the kit for any helmet? Not yet, but you could kind of utilizing it. They are working on a more universal kit. Right now, this is tailored more to the nanotech sleeker helmets, like the Mark 85. So we'll see. I can hear them running. Yes. Let's see. It does look cool, doesn't it? So, we have 3 print beds here, and these are pretty much the sizes you're going to run into. We have an Ender 3, 220 by 220 by 250, I believe, around those dimensions. A CR10, the artillery sidewinder is also this size. This is like the standard cosplay prop size, 300 by 300 by 400. And then this is an Ender 5 Plus. This is 350 by 350 by 400 or 450, I believe. Obviously, there's a big difference between the Ender 3. The Ender 3 carries across all the Enders. The Ender 3, the Pro, the V2. And then the Ender 5 Plus is probably one of the more unique Creality sizes, honestly. I don't think there's any other Creality printer that has this size bed. It is a very odd size. And then the CR10 bed carries across the CR10, the CR10S, the Pro V2, the V3, the V2. This is like Creality's most common size. I'd say it's between these 2. So we're going to kind of talk about positioning and what you can and can't fit. I am going to try to open up Cura without destroying and overloading my computer in a few minutes. This way we can kind of see different bed sizes and some of the larger props. I obviously have files for all of these. So, and I want to discuss the practicality, and we are going to talk about printing an Iron Man suit on an Ender 3, which it'll be my personal opinions on it. It won't be the, oh my God, you can't do it. You can do it, but I'm just going to give you my 2 cents about that because it's my live stream and I can do that. So, thanks for the Insta answers a couple weeks ago. Ralph's Krause Industries, the Upgrade Downs. Right now, the kit is the Mark 85. However, you're working on their kit. Will you cover how you got your props to have such sleek colors? I can kind of go over that. That comes with standard post-processing and sanding and smoothing. I do have some things here to talk about. You can really close up any seam with these 2 items. A soldering iron and some wood filler. That's all I use to kind of fuse all the parts and all of this stuff. Just these 2 things. With the addition of, let's grab some of this fun stuff. Extra filament and rafts. So we're gonna put those there and talk about those later. We don't talk about the CR10 Max. Yeah, the CR10 Max is huge. Currently it's running. I can't take that build plate off. It is gigantic. If you are looking to do just gigantic props, like that's all you want to do, big, large props, the CR10 Max is not a bad option. However, as a few of you who have been messaging me on Instagram have recently realized, it is not the most user-friendly beginner printer. And I even say that in my review video. I don't recommend it as a first-time printer for if you're new. It can be finicky. It is a gigantic bed. Leveling with a BL Touch can be a little confusing. It does have a couple of small quirks right out of the box. So I really wouldn't recommend making that your first printer. It's a beast. It is a beast of a printer. It shouldn't exist in the form it does. It shouldn't be a moving bed printer. It should have been a Core XY or some semblance of it like the Ender 5 Plus. It's slow. As a lot of you have found out who now have a CR10 Max. It is a slow damn printer. But I was able to print my Captain America shield up there in 2 shots on the CR10 Max. It's a gigantic printer. So, do you think the Ender 3 V2 is worth the cash, or should I just get more Ender 3 Pros for a smaller print farm? DeSantos, I'm hoping I'm saying it right. I actually just ordered a new Ender 3 because of that. I still can't personally justify the V2 price because the V2 doesn't come with an all-metal extruder and it doesn't come with a Capricorn Bowden tube. So immediately you're going to have to pump those upgrades directly into it, which brings it to what, $260, $270, up to over $300, where you can get a standard Ender 3 or an Ender 3 Pro with an all-metal extruder, with a Bowden Capricorn tube, with a silent board, with an ultra base bed. You can ditch the magnetic bed and get a glass premium bed, still under $230, $240, and it'll print just as good as the V2. And I've been seeing some kind of buggy things with the V2's firmware because it's a new printer. I would continue to get the Pros because if you're familiar with them and you know how much of a workhorse these Ender 3s are, once you get them built right, do it. Ender 3 all day. Right now, cool. Oh, that was a lot of talking. I'm gonna lose my voice tomorrow. Will you cover how you got your okay, sorry. Do you have the Iron Man gauntlet on that suit with the stones if it doesn't light up? Yes, I do, and yes, I do. Okay, weird. I put to be wanted and was. I'm still the supervisor that actually has a link to Frank's Iron Man videos on the Ender 5 Plus product page. They do? Oh, I didn't know that. That's news to me. I know they were sharing it on their YouTube, but... that's pretty cool, actually. Free advertising. And now I own an Ender 5 Plus. Very effective. It is effective, isn't it? Do you have an Iron... okay, cool. Hey, don't spam the chat, please. Yes, Chris Robertson, you have a CR10 Max. You know all of the things I just said are true. I got my first Ender 3 Pro as one of my smallest printers. It is a Bruno Ibanez. Welcome to the chat. Welcome back, man. Good to see you again. I'm thinking of getting the Ender 3 for Christmas. Do you think it's worth it? It will be my first printer. Lewis Boyce, yes, I do. It is 100% worth it. Cool. Yes, it is 1,000,000,000% worth it. It is a great starter printer. So, we have some big-ass props back here. Now, they range in a variance of size. And let's start with Yarnborn. Jarnborn. However you want to say it is how we're going to say it. So this is a model from Quentin Esp, the one and only, the legend, the man, the myth. And this is still a pretty big ass prop. This was a pretty straightforward print. He modeled this very well. This handle unscrews. This handle unscrews. This handle unscrews, kinda. You have to kind of force that in there. And then this is one big part. Unfortunately, this does not fit on an Ender 3. It just won't do it. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to cut some stuff up. Now, unfortunately, with this model, it is a textured stone-like metal surface. When you make a cut line in this, when you make a slice line, when you use slicer, mesh mixer, however you want to cut your part, it is going to be very difficult to refuse these lines because of the detail in it. This is one of those weird outliers, which I wouldn't recommend cutting it. This is like one of those rare props where like if you don't have the printer to print this in one shot, just the blade, I wouldn't recommend doing it. Now again, you can get creative. You can spend all day welding and filling this in. I'd like to see somebody who has absolute perfect dimensional accuracy and zero lifting print this and see how they could fuse it together. Probably a Prusa, let's be honest. Just to see if they could close those gaps. But we're talking like precise dimensional accuracy, like obscene amounts of it. So, and maybe that filler primer would kind of close that up. Well, I don't know. However, Q did tell me, and he's in the chat actually, he was able to actually fit this blade on the CR10S bed, just barely, but this is going to absolutely push your CR10 Max to, or your CR10S or CR10 variant to the limit. It is a very tall print. You have to angle it at just the right, like it barely fits. You can also scale it down. That's an option too. You can print this at half size and fit it on an Ender 3, and then you have a cute little hatchet thing. So you gotta be careful. You gotta pick your battles. This was a bad one to pick up first. So we're gonna put this over to the side. But you need to consider how you're going to slice your parts, right? Let's see. I'm not a legend. Yes, you are. You are amazing. Let's see. It's just going to skim. Will the blade part fit on an Ender 5 bed? It won't fit on an Ender 5 either. The Ender 5, I believe, is only a little bit bigger than an Ender 3, just under the CR10S. I don't remember the actual dimensions of the Ender 5. Standard or Pro at this time, so we'll see. What do you? Cool. I'd tell the 70 degrees. Before you know the helmets, do you buy the prints to print it out, or do you get the helmet built? I print the helmets. I print everything. Everything you see, I printed. Except the Dragon Ball Z figures. We don't talk about those. I buy those. So let's talk about the Z Sword. This is a fun print by 3 Dutchy. The guy who modeled that Buster Sword right there made this for me because there were no good models of the Z Sword from Dragon Ball Z out there. And some of you can probably already pick out there are some imperfections with this. once I chromed this blade, you can see where I welded it. So I'm trying to make sure I can see it in the camera so you can see it. So at the right angle, you can see where I cut this blade up. Right there, and then right there. Okay, so this was sliced up into 3 parts. The blade was cut into 1, 2, 3. And then the handle actually unscrews. See? Isn't that fancy? And there's a metal rod going all the way through the handle, and it goes to roughly about there in the blade for a little bit of rigidity, okay? Now, I put that metal rod in myself with some heat and some drilling. However, he then did model a channel in there for a metal rod to go in through. That stays the same for Stormbreaker. Quentin S. put metal rods in that. There is a metal rod in the handle of my Buster Sword, and there is a metal rod in the handle of this. Metal rods come in handy. I believe this is a 6 mil. Stormbreaker has an 8 or a 10, and then my Buster Sword and Dragon Slayer have definitely have a 10 millimeter. So, how many Captain America shields do you have? I have 3. 2 of them were 3D. Oh no, I have 4. 3 of them were 3D printed. The World War II shield was printed. The broken Endgame shield is printed. I have another broken Endgame shield that's being printed. And then my Marvel Legends one over here is not printed. And I'm hitting everything with this. Everything. Let's see. Can you show us your favorite Iron Man helmet you've made? No, that's for another stream. I will just point to it. It's this one right there. That one. Maybe I'll show you later. So let's see. This is a friendly reminder to everybody. Oh yeah, the like button. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the plug. It wasn't even one of my mods. Please don't spam the chat. I will try to get to your question. If I don't, there's probably a reason for it, or I just missed it. But please don't spam. I have mods in there. They will ban you. They will kick you out. Please don't do it. 10 millimeter rod. All right, cool. That's why the 8s aren't fitting. Haha. So, you print everything out. Now you have something tall like this. I cut this blade up into the sections I wanted. I believe they were roughly 300 millimeters per section. And then I stood them up on my CR10S. Now, when you're orienting things on a bed, and let me see if I can get a good visual for you guys. Do I have anything that's tall? Ah, I do. Okay, hold on. We'll take this. So, this is the blade to Loki's scepter, okay? Now, say this was just part of the sword, okay? Say this was the tip of the sword, all right? And we'll talk about fusing and sanding and all that stuff in a few minutes. Okay? No, don't worry about that. Oh, the sticker's coming off. No. Anyway, so you want to print it standing up because it doesn't fit, right? This doesn't make any sense. You want to print it standing up, all right? Maybe it's not this tall. This obviously wouldn't fit on an ender. Whatever. Here, for accuracy. CR10S. This would fit on a CR10S. Now, you have to think about how are you going to orient this print? Are you going to try to orient it like this so you can kind of lay it down, do something weird, you know, position it all fancy? Or do you want to stand it straight up? Now, depending on your printer, the print bed moves in and out, right? So, if you have your print bed moving in and out and you stand it up like this, your print bed is going to constantly wobble it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But if you turn it like this, your print bed isn't going to need to move in and out as much, right? What's going to happen is as it's being printed right here, your X gantry, your nozzle is going to move left and right as it should, and your print bed's only, your Y-axis is only going to move in and out very minimally. Now you have to experiment with this. Some people get better results orienting it along the Y-axis because now it has a stronger base. So as it's moving in and out, it's not going to wobble as much. Now you have to consider if you have tall prints, you might notice you get a lot more layer lines because the print it's translating vibrations as the print gets taller and taller and taller. I've had it on a lot of my taller prints. So then you need to consider, all right, well, I would never print at the max height of my CR10S. I don't like going over 300, even though it can go to 400. I don't like that. So you want to actually move it down a little bit. I really, like I said, I'll stay around 300 or less, and then you're going to use a raft. You're going to use a lot of supports to try to keep that nice and stable, so it's not moving. You're going to want to slow your speed down. I've talked about this in a lot of videos. Orientation is key, depending on how you're actually positioning the parts. You don't want to just haphazardly drop it in. I know people who will just load a model in and hit print. They'll slice it and send it without actually, and they'll wonder why it's going to take 10 days. So you have to be careful with exactly how you're going to orient the print. I'm going to check the chat and just see what everybody's saying. Okay. Hold on, can you show us the Mark 39 helmet? It is in the case, and I do not feel like taking it out. It is right there. If you want a better look at it, you can go watch my Mark 39 build videos. What was your first 3D print? It was some Power Ranger coins that are over in that case, and then it was that Keyblade that is sitting up there on the wall. 11 online. Haha, people are not staying on my TikTok chat. I hope I'm getting some people from there. How would you get these to adhere to a glass bed like the Ender 5 Plus? Seems likely to come off. So, this falls into some things where you need to actually make sure you know how to print. And I don't mean in the sense like, I know how to print this. I mean like, is your adhesion good? Do you have lifting? I want to talk about that Buster Sword real quick, right? This Buster Sword, all right? I had a hell of a time because my adhesion on my magnetic beds was terrible. I wasn't cleaning them properly. So what was happening, and I can actually demonstrate it on this, so you can kind of see, I'll do it on the Ender. So, if you guys have ever had lifting before, so you can see how the edges are bowed up, and I'm sure some of you have ran into this. As you print with a raft, as you print with a base, as you start the print, what'll happen is the print will start to lift up. Now imagine doing that with two really large parts and they start to lift. So when you go and align them, the edges don't meet. The entire Buster Sword had this. It was a nightmare. I should have put more time into my adhesion. What that meant in the end that I had to do, and I'm pretty sure I talked about this in the build video for that, is I had to go and plastic weld huge gaps. So smoothing it down took a lot longer than it should have. Now, Guts' Dragon Slayer over there, I was a lot more careful with my adhesion. My adhesion was fantastic. So everything fit together a lot nicer. I still had to plastic weld it, but I had a lot less to fill. So it did pay back in dividends to have that level of adhesion. Glass beds, I hate normal glass beds. And I hate how people talk about them because you have a normal, oh wait, I have one right here. How would you get these to adhere? Hold on, let's see them slightly come off. Let's see. Ooh, Just checking the chat. Just checking the chat. Hi guys. Can you make a Batman suit, please? No. So, this is the glass bed that came with my CR10S. It sucks. I hate this thing. Some people swear by them. Most times, what I've noticed that when you ask somebody, hey man, how do you like your stock glass bed? They'll say, oh, it's great once you put some masking tape down. You don't have a glass bed anymore then. You basically have a textured surface bed. You're not using the glass bed, you're using tape. So you're changing it. So the people that post around and say, oh, my glass, the stock glass bed is great, just throw some tape down. You're not using the glass bed anymore. That's not glass you're printing on. You're printing on the tape. It's no different than the sticker that's on this fiberglass bed. This is a very cheap, very sticky stock Ender 3 bed. And it's actually a sticker that you can peel off and you can replace it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But then you'll see there's a bunch of gunk on this. I tried hairspray, I tried glue, I tried everything. Turns out the bed was warped right off out of the gate. So that didn't help me at all. I was dead in the water before I even started. I just recently switched all of my CR10Ss, and both of my Ender 5 Pluses came with this. This is the Creality Ultra Base, or the premium glass bed. And it's a glass bed, as you can see. Oh wow, that is some gnarly reflection. Ooh, trippy. And then it has a microporous surface on it. Never use any additives on this glass bed, ever. This is meant to be smooth and clean. All I use on this is I have a spray bottle of 90% isopropyl alcohol. I heat up the bed, spray it, wipe it off. The levels of adhesion I get are obscene now. I lifted up my entire CR10S from the adhesion on this. I was trying to pull the print off and the whole printer came up with it. It's obnoxious. Do not use additives on this bed. The only additives you should be using are on your standard glass beds. Everything else will get clogged up. That's why I had such bad adhesion on my magnetic beds. I was getting a lot of glue and gunk. So what I had to do is I stripped the whole bed off with Goof Off or Goo Gone. Stripped the entire thing down. Now again, all I use on this, because it's a microporous surface, it wants to be clean. I just use my rubbing alcohol and it's perfect. So you need to go through some trial and error with adhesion. A lot of people will see that, oh, use a glue stick. They're talking about a normal glass bed, not your ultra base glass bed. So there's a learning curve there that you kind of have to utilize. And I am about to make a video about bed adhesion. I've been trying to avoid it because I hate talking about it. But I'm gonna make a video about bed adhesion, a video about bed leveling, and then maybe a video about filaments. I think it's about time I do that because I've tested a couple. So let's check the chat and see what you guys. Let's see. Why are you hating on Batman? I don't hate Batman. I just don't want to put the time into making a suit. Yes. I had a major problem with adhesion until I used a glue stick. Groove Builders, what kind of bed are you using? You sound like Tony Stark. No, I don't. Let's not start a Batman flame war in the chat, please. Let's not do that. Speaking of anime betrayals, anime level betrayals. So you have to figure out your adhesion, especially when you're printing tall stuff. When you're slicing them, when you're trying to print them out. This isn't a problem you can have because say you get up to a tall print and then it fails and then it falls and you're like, well, shit, that didn't help. That didn't help at all. We still got 11. So I'm gonna put this back over here. Is all of this making sense so far, guys? I hope. Is anybody learning anything? You know, I really hope so. So what we can do is I'm gonna actually plug in my soldering iron, and we're gonna do a little bit of live plastic welding. We're gonna combine some prints. Now let me hop down here and plug this in without killing the stream, because I'll be very upset. Very, very, very upset. Please don't bug out. We're still good. All right, cool. Soldering iron is heating up. Now, right now, I have a hot blade solder part on my soldering iron because I feel that's the easiest for folding and welding. Use a water bed. Have you designed anything yourself yet? No, I have not. I haven't needed to. All the other nerds in the world have made all the cool things I want to print. So, do you rely strictly on auto leveling feature on your Ender 5 or do you manually adjust? Stefan G, I do both. I occasionally will check the level. What a lot of people don't do is they're afraid to live level. I want to highlight that. That's a good question, actually. They're afraid to live level. Aside from the standard Ender 3, you can adjust your baby Z steps while you're printing. That prime line that it does before each print is absolutely wonderful for dialing in that last little bit of your printers. One of my CR10Ss, occasionally I have to do that too. And as it makes the prime line, I'll literally go into adjust and I'll drop the Z up or down. If you double click, if you have a standard CR10 or CR10S with just the control box, if you double click the control knob button, you go into the menu and immediately come back out, you'll be able to adjust the Z steps and that'll raise and lower your Z height, your Z offset for the whole print. And what I'll do is as I'm watching that prime line go, I'll raise or lower to get that perfect squish, that perfect filament squish. Now that'll only work if your bed's already level, your just Z height isn't proper yet. So you can, that's what I do. I start the print, I watch it go, and I just adjust it very, very slightly to see that squish, and then we're off to the races, and it works out great. I don't really level my beds anymore. The auto level works good to help compensate for the print as it's printing. My CR10Ss, ever since I got both the Ultra Base beds, the premium glass beds for them, they are perfectly level. Occasionally I'll wobble the beds, make sure my rollers are still good, and then I don't know, once a month maybe, I'll do a corner check with some with a sticky note, and we're good to go. If you want a really quick, simple way to level a bed, my way, go look at my upgrading the Ender 3 video. Because I put a magnetic bed on that and I level it live. It takes like 30 seconds and it's very easy to do. Like you said, glass bed, nothing special. Groove, all right, so Groove, yes. So Groove Builders, if you're using a glass bed, a normal glass bed, then glue sticks can help. I challenge you though to take that glass bed and strip it. I mean, the cleanest it's ever been with alcohol, and see how that works. I'd be very interested. Boo, 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 boo. Hey, Wild Rabbit, what's up? Get your drinks. Frank is messing with stuff. How do you know how to size armor? I have a video on that. This isn't so much this isn't about that scaling. If you're looking into a good program, a way to size armor, look into the Armored Garage. It's called Armor Smith. It is completely worth the $30. Go get that. At least you're not stripping wire with your teeth as a teaching method. drop. I don't know what you're talking about, but you know, it just works out so great. Just to strip the wire and just, you know, just to, you know, really strip it. I actually just broke the wire. It didn't even strip. Even plastic welding didn't stop my longsword blade from splitting. I guess the humidity and temperature change messed with it. It could have, depending on the infill, and I want to talk about that. We'll talk, actually. Stormbreaker is not too much of a concern. Let's get the Buster Sword, shall we? Let's talk about this guy. I'm gonna move the chair because this guy's a little bit big, so I can't really sit down and show this. The Buster Sword. I keep thinking that the mic's over there, so I want to project more, but it's right here, so I can talk like this. So this is the Buster Sword. This was printed at a 5% infill up to here. Now this is in sections, and if I just hold it right, you can't see this in real life. Like, only through the camera and the right proper lighting, I can just show you barely where the seam lines are. Let's see. All right, so this side's not painted yet because I'm a jerk. So you can see some seam lines here and here, and here, and you can see the one right there. So this is in sections. So there's one section here, and what I did is I printed them at 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, 10, 15, and then the handle is printed at 20. This gave me a lot more strength, and there's also a metal rod going through it, which allows me to do that. I can hold this thing up. This thing in total weighs about 5 to 6 pounds. Now, if I grab the handle here, I might break it. It doesn't really like that. But getting a nice choke up on it, I can hold it just fine. It's perfect. Like, I don't know if I'd swing it around full speed, but it's big enough where I can carry it around, lift it up, do whatever I want with it. I can hit my roof, hit my lights, and it has some really good rigidity to it. Now, this is the results also of very good layer adhesion. If your prints are having skipped layers, if your temperature's off, if you're having problems like that, this might not work. Now, I can also hold it out like this, flat. If I really, really tried, I could probably crack this thing right in half. Like, it would split. But it's enough weight, it has enough strength to support itself just fine. So you really have to be careful with things like this. But being able to print something this big and weld it together, you can do it. I did it. We're gonna put this back here. Hopefully it doesn't fall and knock Stormbreaker off the wall, because I'll be sad. Live level every print I do, but helps that perfect layer. You watch your first layer go down. Correct. Or the parts weren't glued together properly. I don't know why you just retracted that as I was reading it. Have you ever thought about making the space sword from Avatar: The Last Airbender? That would be pretty cool, actually. I've never seen anybody make that. It's a pretty standard looking sword, though. It's kind of more like a Tai Chi sword, is it not? Your dentist would be so proud. He is. Are you planning on making a Batman suit, an Ant-Man suit? No, I'm not that big of an Ant-Man fan. I'm curious as to what your next big project is going to be. Another suit. I am working on another suit. I'm working on the Mark 39. Working is a strong word. It's been on hold. I'm getting there. Dude, you were so cool. When I grow up, I want to be like you. Thanks, man. Do we drink when Frank puts the wires in his mouth? When I get electrocuted, just, you know, that's fine. Curious how many marks were made by the blades on the ceiling. A couple. There are a couple up there. More often than not, I hit the light. You'll see the light just move, and that's my fault. The cool thing about the large props is that they look awesome, but the downside is that you run out of room. Bruno, I have no idea where I'm going to put that Dragon Slayer sword. Not a clue. I had to make room over here for all the Infinity props. Loki's scepter is way too long. I messed up. Oh, Loki's scepter. Hey, that's perfect. I'm glad you reminded me about this, because I just got done welding the blade. So this is perfect. This is a perfect example. They look nice. I actually went with more of a dull gold on this because I feel like, so in the movie, all of the props, the orb, the aether container, the tesseract container, Loki's scepter, they're all really new and shiny, like they were just made. I don't like that. I want my collection to be weathered, like the Eye of Agamotto was. You know, it's worn, it's beat. I've had it for a while. So I kind of went with more of a dulled, flimsy gold, and I actually hit it with some rub and buff. I kind of messed with the edges a little bit to make it look like it's fading, so I like that look a lot more. But as you can see here, the blade isn't painted, or the blade, the staff, the handle. So let me, it's reverse duct tape right now because I didn't want to pull the paint off. Curious how many marks. It's a cool thing about large props. No audio visual issues until his computer the Buster Sword. Marks on my ceiling. Marks on the forehead. The forehead was your fault. Love you, babe. No, it was my fault. I can't take blame. I gotta take blame for that. A little battle worn, yeah, but just more like it. Yeah, a little bit of weathered. We'll go with weathered. So this, I like DO 3D. But this prop, this is one of the few ones where I have to admit they could have designed this much better. Things don't fit properly, and I'll talk about that in the video. Like this cover, it doesn't like have any alignment at all. There's no way to actually secure this on. I actually added pegs. These are screws that I melted in, and then I put some holes in there. This way, when I finally go to glue this on and secure it, I have something to help align everything in and give it a little bit more strength. So that I'll talk about in the video. I'm gonna send them a message. So this staff, this has no metal rods in it. This is all plastic welded. I could snap, you can see how much this flexes. Oh my God. Oh God. Yeah, but it's strong enough to hold the weight of itself. Now, Loki's scepter is way too long. Ha ha ha. Talking about the eye. I wish I could have seen your face when you saw that eye of. Oh, dude, Q, that was amazing. That was so cool. That was so awesome. How many people we got? We 65 of you. Jesus. Hi. I feel special. Thanks, guys. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I want to show you some welds. Let's see here. So we'll start right there. Okay, that works. Right there. So what I did is I plastic welded everything, and you're going to notice that there's this hole goes all the way to the middle. And I'm going to show you guys on some other props. But basically, we're going to use imagine my fingers, the tips of my fingers are the flat sides of, this printed up with the flat side, this printed with the flat side. So I met the two flat sides up. Then what I did is I ran the soldering iron completely through, like just a hot knife, all the way halfway through the print to help fuse those flat sides. Because if I just plastic weld the outside, there's nothing it's just two flat surfaces. Now you could super glue that. I don't like doing that. The super glue, I feel like it fades over time and it loses some of its strength. So what I did is I actually ran the soldering iron halfway through, and I did that in a couple spots. I did that on both sides to help melt the center together. And then what I did is, because now once you do that, you penetrate into the infill. I could actually see into the both parts. Then what I did is I took extra plastic that I had saved up, wasted material, rafts, and that's why it's gold and yellow. I started just pouring plastic into there, just melting it and melting it and melting it until it started to finally build up, and then I smoothed it all over. Now you're gonna notice that right now the welds are concave, because what I'm gonna do is then I'm gonna take some wood filler, sponsor me, Ron Seal, and then I'm gonna go over the entire outside of this, because the wood filler is a lot easier to sand down than the plastic itself. Now you could plastic weld this, and I could spend all day trying to make this perfect and smooth and just get that. It's a waste of time. It's strong enough, it's as strong as it's gonna be. Then I'm just gonna hit it with wood filler, smooth it out, and call it a day. And I did that, and you can see I did that on literally every spot. I melted basically an entire hole all the way through, and it worked out perfectly. When you're making big props like this, you can be a lot more forgiving with your detail. Obviously, when I have something small like the Eye of Agamotto, you're going to be up close looking at it. Somebody's going to hold it in their hand, and you're going to see that, and you're going to be like, oh, you're going to see big holes like that. When you have a large prop like this, like the Buster Sword, like the Dragon Slayer, you can hide a lot of these little crimes because it's just so big. You're not going to be up close like, man, this is a really cool Buster sword. Like you really did it, So you can kind of play around with scale like that, especially when it photographs. If you're just doing things that, it's for photo shoots, it's for cosplay. I'm never going to take a close-up picture with the Buster sword. It's always going to be, far back, and you're going to see the sword for itself. You're not going to see each little individual imperfection. So I was going to try to run a metal rod through this, but because of the shape of it, it would have been a nightmare. I actually did go out and get it was a long steel dowel that would have been perfect for this, but after actually welding it together properly, it's fine. It'll blend. Did anybody get that reference? Don't fall. Don't you dare get on camera. That was a lot of talking. By the way, join the 3D printing cosplay community, over 700 members. Speaking of the Discord, if you guys want to learn about this, talk with me almost every day. I've been really busy, so I've been kind of neglecting the Discord. I'm sorry, but my mods haven't. There's a 700+ community of people on the Discord, and they are all absolutely awesome. Sorry, I'm going to cancel the TikTok live now because there's no one in it. It's a 700 member community of nerds and cosplayers and 3D printing enthusiasts, new, old, experts, pros, people who know way more than me, people who don't even have 3D printers yet and they just want to see what it's all about. So go check that out. The link was just dropped. It's free. It's an amazing community. Also, if one of my mods will also drop in a link to the Iron Legion Discord, go check that out too. Having access to both of these Discords, this is a Discord by Emily the Engineer, Kiara Build, CTK Props, and it's its own little Discord. And there's so much information between both of them. Go check both of them out. It will not hurt you whatsoever to be part of either of them. And you can get different things from them. But at the very least, check out my Discord. It's pretty cool. My mods do a fantastic job of running it, and I'm really proud of them. I'm really proud of what it's turned into. And it's just another resource for you guys. Both Discords are way more structured than any Facebook group you can be on. I promise you. So go check that out. And subscribe if you haven't already. Hey, Dustin, what's up, man? PSA, don't super glue and use a soldering iron, you will go blind. Thank you, Jeet. So, what a lot of people want to do. Please hold. Your call is being transferred. I'm gonna do a dumb thing live. Have you guys ever noticed that super glue doesn't like sticking to fresh raw prints? It's because there's an oil base. That's why if you also super glue, or if you try to spray paint raw prints, it won't like it. Now, I'm gonna hold this kind of close to my microphone, and I want you guys to see something, and hopefully hear it. So, you can see a little bit of smoke right there, right? That's just plastic smoke. A lot more smoke. That is the super glue vaporizing, superheating and vaporizing. That is so unbelievably toxic, it's not even funny. That's if you just breathe it in directly. You will cough. If that gets into your eyes, it can make you go blind. It hurts. I've gotten little puffs of it in my eyes. It sucks. You don't know if you should open your eyes. You don't know if you should close your eyes. All you know is it hurts. And I've gotten little tiny puffs of it in my. It is unreal. If you get enough of it in your eyes, bad enough, a big enough puff, it's even worse on dry. That was wet super glue. Dry super glue is even worse because it just vaporizes instantly. It is very toxic. Don't breathe it in. It went up. You can see the smoke. Do not get it in your eyes. So if you're going to be plastic welding like I did with the Loki scepter, and you did this big don't use super glue because you just don't know where you're going to put that soldering iron. The fumes that come off of the plastic are bad enough. Don't introduce this ridiculously toxic stuff and then you vapor. Like, don't do it. So please be careful with that. But that's not to say I haven't done that. You just need to be careful. Do it outside. Wear a respirator. be cognizant of it. It does help. It does help to align parts. If you don't want to use duct tape, a couple dabs of super glue to help keep it in position, cool, and then you start welding. Just be cognizant of it, that oh, there's super glue in here. Don't get this shit in my eyes. So just please be careful with that. I don't think I really talked about that in my PLA welding tutorial, and it's been making me want to redo it. It's very dangerous. Even worse is the 2-part cyanoacrylate glue. This stuff hurts even more than the normal super glue. So please be careful. This has been a public service announcement from your local guy. So, Yep. Thank you, Jeep, for bringing that up. I'm glad I wanted to talk about that. Cool. Thank you, Chris, for linking that. Living the dream. Hey, they got that grinding on parts worked out, and I hit you up on Instagram about, oh, dude, thanks. That's cool, Dustin. Don't do it. I'm going to do the dumb thing live. Yes. Expired in like 1 sec. Yeah, the fumes are bad. The fumes are very bad. What type of soldering iron to use? This is a $5 variable temperature one. The cheaper the better. The cheaper soldering irons are better because they have no variance. They just get hot. They just heat up and get hot. So, but only dedicated for that. If, this has interchangeable tips. I think it was like $10. One tip is just for plastic welding. Keep a fan handy. I actually have a fan sitting right here, and when I'm plastic welding, it's blowing past my face and carrying everything away. So, contact cement glue, same stuff. It is still an adhesive. It is toxic just by ingesting it, and getting don't do it. If it's an epoxy, if it's a glue, it's a cement. Vaporizing it is never a good thing. Do as I say, not as I do. Thank you. Harbor Freight soldering iron. Yes, Mason, you are correct. Between you and the 3D printing nerd, you guys have inspired me to go as big as possible. Go big or go home, or go big and save money. Hey, look. Now this is one part. Between the super glue and the plastic, I just melted through it. So that's one part now. I'm gonna throw that out because I don't even want to entertain using this as a filler. All right, cool. And I think, yep, that's probably from the plastic. Let's see. I think I welded that. I had some keyblade parts here, but I didn't want to actually. Oh, I have to reprint them. No, I don't. I ordered new ones. Yep. I'm trying to find something. I didn't actually have anything that I could have utilized for this, and I'm kind of upset. Gross. All right, keyblade it is. We'll do you, and we'll do this. All right. So I may or may not have another keyblade kit printing for another reason. All right. Greets from the Netherlands. 3D stuff is so cool. Hey, well, hey George, Gundam 00. Is your name a reference to 00 Gundam? Because that show is awesome. Do you suggest people do some research before asking questions, or do you have any other thoughts on helping someone new? I always suggest doing research. Thank you for thank you to my mods for doing something for mentioning this. I think I can speak for most of the printing community, the cosplay community, and if you feel I can't speak for you, please message me, and we'll hash it out. We all want to help you. Especially the people that put tutorials out like this. There's tons of them. There's Odin makes, and 3D Printing Nerd, and Kiara and Emily are putting up tutorials. And if we're putting these tutorials out there, it's because we want to teach you. However, you also have to realize we put these tutorials out there for you guys because we want to give you guys this information. If you're going to message us, if you're going to request us to help you, please have done the research beforehand. See if we have a video about that thing you're asking. See if we made a post about that. Cross-tell, do the research first, because a lot of people, I'll get messages on Instagram, and I'm sure a lot of these makers and cosplayers and builders do too. They'll get a message saying, hey, I'm asking about thing A or thing B, and they want a walkthrough for it. Maybe they don't know we have a YouTube. That's fine. Now, you have to be careful with how you ask. You will get a much better response. We are much more inclined to help, or myself, I think I'm speaking for myself right here. I want to help you, but remember that by putting out these tutorials, that's the initial help. Go and do the research. check the forums. Come to me with a more specific question, not just, hey man, how'd you make the Iron Man suit? Well, I have YouTube videos on that. You can do your research on that. You can check different posts before kicking out that question. Because if you come to me with, hey, I did all this research, I'm stuck on this part, you didn't cover it in your videos, or I couldn't find it on the RPF, or I couldn't find it on Facebook, hey, what do you think about this? If you show that you are willing to learn and you've already done the effort, most of us they're so much more inclined to help. Just because it's like, oh wow, like you're really dedicated to this. It's not just this kind of, I don't want to say lazy is not the right word, but it's intimidating. A lot of people, they see, hey, you made this Iron Man suit. Oh god, my nose is so itchy right now, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. You see that, I made this Iron Man suit. You see that Kiara modeled her own stuff. You see that Emily's making this suit, and you just want to know. You just want to go right to the source and ask, how did you do this? That's like, we love sharing that stuff. So if our first response to you, and I do it like, hey, how do you make the Iron Man suit? I'll immediately link you to my YouTube. That isn't me blowing you off. That is me giving you access to the research that I've already put out there. And I hope you guys understand that. It pays off in dividends when you're showing that you don't want to just be spoon-fed, you want to learn. And here's the information to learn, watch it, get back to me, and then I'll help you with anything I didn't cover. And by coming back to me and saying, hey man, I watched all these videos, I just did that, I did that, that's cool, but you didn't cover this, there's a video idea for me. You just kind of helped create a need for me, like, okay, cool, I didn't cover that, all right, cool. Let me do a plastic holding tutorial. Oh, I didn't cover the hands. All right, let me make a video about the hands. So it's a good two-way feedback. And if you're gonna enter this community and kind of be a part of it, it does pay off to do the research, because there is tons of research out there. And we are all, as a collective, working on consolidating that. There are some big plans in work to consolidate a lot of the information out there, because you have my YouTube channel, and you have Kamui Cosplay, you have Odin Makes, you have there's so many awesome YouTube channels out there that they're like way better than mine. Mine's still climbing, and I'm proud of it. But I will kick you to other people's channels because they just might have better information than mine. I've only been doing this a year and a half, almost a year and a half. So I know my channel's lacking on some tutorials, and I'm working on it. So be part of the solution, not the problem, is I guess the summation of it. Because once you get involved and once you start becoming part of this community, it's awesome. It is absolutely amazing, and everybody is wonderful. So, end rant. Thanks, Tony Stark. Which plastic filaments are food safe and can be used in dishwashers or microwave? Stefan, I have no idea. I have never looked into that. I am not the one to talk about that. George Gundam 00. 00 Gundam, yes, beautiful show. If you haven't watched Iron Blooded Orphans yet, go watch that one. It's just as mature and dark. Iron Legion Discord for Chris Robertson. Just bought myself a 3D printer. Looking forward to print some Star Wars stuff. Hey, Steve We Do. Stevie Do? Cool. You're welcome. I feel like the BL Touch was the worst investment. It's such a headache. Ender 3 Pro. Sometimes the thing just decides to not work. Do you have the same problem? Groove builders, don't take this the wrong way. I think a BL Touch on anything smaller than a CR10S is stupid. It is a waste, and leveling this bed is a joke. You shouldn't need a BL Touch to do that. Now, it helps if your bed is warped, but you need to look at the reason, why did you get a BL Touch? Is it a glass bed? Was it warped? This fiberglass bed is kind of warped and shitty, but the adhesion on this thing is great. So I'm not the guy to talk to about BL Touches on everything. They are nice, but I would never add one to one of my printers. I feel like it's a Band-Aid fix. Now, something on like a S5 or a CR10 Max or an S4, it needs a BL Touch. Your bed will never be perfectly level. Love the fact that as a newbie that you and others in the community have such a vast wealth of knowledge that you are sharing. Geeky Pete, you're welcome. That's what we're here for. I love nothing more. I absolutely love nothing more than getting that message on Instagram, and it'll just be like a message request because I don't follow you back because you're new to the Instagram or YouTube or whatever, and it's just like, hey man, I just ordered an Ender 5 Plus because your video, or I've been looking to get into cosplay, or I've been cosplaying with foam and I'm moving to 3D, whatever the opening may be, but that thank you message, I feel it's in line similar to how some how teachers feel, because in this sense, I'm not like I'm teaching, but I'm like a teacher. It's working. It's paying off. You know, like the content is helping people, and that's what I like to do. Knowing that I got somebody into this and you can now make this stuff, it is all the reward. It is so awesome to get those messages. And as a lot of you know, I respond to everybody. So take advantage of that while you can. Just watched 3 of our viewers join the Iron Legion Discord. Nice. Yes. Thanks for the link, Chris. You're welcome. I think I already sent a message to playing up video to at least 10 people that asked. Yeah, awesome. I completely agree. Manual leveling on the other 5 Plus is better than what the BL touch. Also join the printing cosplay. Cool. Maybe you can make Magneto's helmet. I am not opposed to making Magneto's helmet, actually. That is a good point. I'm sorry, we just got way off topic about printing big stuff. I'm sorry, but a lot of that has to be said. So let's move back into printing really big shit. Which better for first printers, Ender 3 or Ender 5? I say Ender 3. You're going to be ordering a CRTist because of all your videos. Hell yeah, Patrick. Hell yeah. The V2 is pretty cool. No, I totally agree. I get it for more fast leveling because I wanted to print things fast without leveling the bed every time. You shouldn't have to level the bed every time, though. See, there's your problem. Something must be loose. The springs on your bed might be too loose. If you have to re-level after every print or even after every 10 prints, something is coming loose that shouldn't. I level my basically bone stock Ender 3 once every 2 months. And it has a magnetic bed, all metal extruder, and bone and Capricorn tube. That's it. Oh, and I upgraded the bed springs in the upgrade video. Things shouldn't be coming loose over time. The only things that should be wearing down from constant use, your roller wheels are going to start to wear down and your belts are going to stretch out slightly. And I'm talking months, over months. You shouldn't have to re-level your bed every few prints. Something else is wrong. Man, you're a legend. I started 3D printing and I've made some money. Hey, you made money off of it. Hell yeah, you've taken the next step and that's awesome. If you found your market, hell yes. Okay, not Magneto's helmet, but what about Professor X's wheelchair? No. So, moving on to some other big stuff. What kind of big stuff we got? Plastic welding. Oh yeah, I'm gonna plastic weld this in for you guys. So, I wish I had documented myself building that first keyblade. It is so bad. It is covered in Bondo and wood filler. I don't think I plastic welded any of it. I think I super glued everything and slathered it with Bondo. It is bad. But now, this is the level of dimensional accuracy I'm getting with proper bed adhesion and nothing else. Let's see if I can let this line up. So, trying to get it to look good. Now this was printed with a raft, so it's not going to be perfect, but it's pretty freaking close. I really couldn't get this to line up any better. Nice and flat, and I literally am just trying to line it up. So this is where a good bed adhesion comes in. Like I said, this was printed with a raft like that. I literally have a whole another keyblade sitting in here. I have 2 of them actually. Yeah, it's a cool little kit. There is a video coming out for that, so don't you worry. I replaced the springs on my Ender 3 Pro. Haven't ever had a need to re-level it after Gee, he gets it. I re-level my bed during every print. Liar. I made $15 from a print, far from making the store, but hey, if it pays for filament, it's worth. Bed springs, I was debating this. I saw your video, I grabbed them. Dang. Yes, bed springs. So, we're going to go ahead and weld this, and I want to show you guys how I actually weld these big props. We'll put this right here. So for something like this, I'm actually, let's do this and get rid of that. My phone's just chilling. I'm actually going to use a couple pieces of tape, and we're going to line this up because I don't want to use any glue because of what we talked about earlier. And then I can hear myself talking downstairs because my wife is watching this live downstairs. Thanks, Kayla, for the view. So I'm just gonna get this lined up and proper, and you can kind of feel it through the tape. And this would apply to any big print you're making. Now, please close. Thank you. So. Just goes to show the power of trial, error, and improvement. Don't be afraid to try a new method if you're unsatisfied with this. Robo Penguin, you are a little late. All right. So, you see I taped off, and I still have access to 2 points. I'm gonna turn on this fan real quick because I want to blow this away. I ain't trying to die. Poison. That, nope, that's that thing. And then I need to do... I don't want it to oscillate. I just want the fan on. Sorry. All right. Cool. So, with something like this that has a pretty smooth surface, that I know that when I go and put wood filler on it and like kind of fill that gap, I can I can sand this perfectly smooth. So I can be a lot messier with my welding. And then literally all I'm going to do is for the first ones, like I said, I'm just going to dig all the way in and make that hole. Oh, got to get that fan. There it goes. And then start kind of filling it in. I got to reposition that fan. Oh man, that's blowing right at me. Don't breathe, kids. There we go. Can you make the whole Iron Man suit with just an Ender 3? Oh, I'm glad you asked that. I'm so glad you asked that. Yes. But please don't. I'm not saying like you can't. You can. But you are going to need to do so much more cutting and welding and seam filling. And it's going to take you that much longer to even find out that that part you printed might not even fit you. It's a lot more headache than I think it's worth. In my mind, in my opinion, it is better to save up the money to get a bigger printer, because the time you're gonna save is way more worth the money you think you're gonna save. It's time versus money thing, and yes, you can do it. I highly don't recommend it, especially parts like the thighs and the shins that you're gonna need to not only cut in half like this, you're gonna need to cut them like a pizza just to get the parts to fit certain ways. And it's a lot of welding, it's a lot of seam filling, so I'd be very careful with that. Yeah, don't breathe, kids. Yes, a lot of welding, a lot of welding. I don't personally think it is worth it. There we go. Now it's not blowing in my face, I can breathe now. So what I'll do is I'll make my first 2 like incisions, and then once they're done, I'll start removing some of the tape. Remove a little bit more of it. Now, this part isn't really a structural part. This is at the end of the keyblade, so this doesn't need to be like ridiculously strong. It's only supporting 2 parts, and I'm not too worried about it. So now I have 3 really deep incisions kind of made in there on the seams to where the 2 flat parts met. And honestly, at this point, it's probably as strong as it needs to be. That's it. It's on there. It's nice and on there. Now what I can do is I can go and cut one more where you're not even going to see this. You'll never see this part right here. So I can make this as deep and ugly as I want. Just get that strength. Get that as fused as possible. This kit was made with alignment pegs that I just never used. Blowing on that cools it down so quick, it's not even funny. I was telling someone the same at the beginner chat. They want to build a Stormbreaker on Ender 3. Yeah. How long did that Iron Man behind you take to make? Thanks for the awesome stream. Leon, months. I have an entire build series dedicated to it. It took 1,200 hours to print it. Curious what the 609 in your username represents. Sparrow, Tiger 609. Do you have any big projects for the future? I have tons of big projects in the future. So, this is welded now. That's it. It's actually welded pretty good. So, I have the pockets made. Now I can do 2 things here. I could go and fill them in with more plastic and build them up. I'm not really worried about that. These are small enough where I'm good with wood filler. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, like I said, those concave cuts. And I'm just going to drag the soldering iron. I'm only going to let it penetrate a 1/16 of an inch. And then I'm just gonna move it around and smooth it out. I'm so much better at plastic welding now than I was when I made that tutorial, and it shows. You have to think about what kind of stresses are going to be on the part you're welding. Do I need to cut into it really deep? Do I need to make sure that it's really, you know, a very deep weld that's going to have a lot of strength? Or is it going to be for show? Is it near the tip of the blade? Is it, you know, is it going to be flimsy? So I made the whole seam. It's concave now. So when I put the wood filler, it'll fill in the seam and I can sand that all down. That's some crazy dedication. It is. It's not a New Jersey area code. That's probably some crazy dedication. I added the palm nuts, 0.69 and Capricorn tube. She prints like a... I used your video to assemble it, made the invent. Oh, that's awesome, Josh. That's really cool. With a sensor... No, it's just a funny number with a sensor 0. Oh, so you're gross. Frank's becoming Iron Man. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. What's that in real units, right? Freedom units. Bald eagles per hour. So I'm going to go through and finish welding the rest of it. I'm going to have to cut part of this for the build tutorial I do on this. I'm going to have to like clip part of this live stream out. I'm very excited to see how this new keyblade comes out. Very excited. That's it. This is welded. Welded the entire seam. It's all melted together. It's strong. I could probably break it in half. I'm not going to. I need that. Gonna binge watch that. That's awesome. It's the same reason I asked the question. You're cool. After the live stream, of course. Of course. Of course, everybody. So, that's how I weld now. Let me put this back in the drawer. And then saving, you know, this filament was, I almost ran out on a spool. It just wasn't enough to reuse, so I saved it for like welding and uses like this. Saving rafts and failed prints, absolutely crucial, especially when you're making big stuff for welding and combining everything together. And then your good old wood filler. This stuff is just great. It dries way quicker. It's not as messy as Mondo. It sands a lot easier, and it's really cheap. This is like a $3 tube. Natural color. Natural. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. How long have we been going? What time is it? It's 9:10. Oh, the plastic makes me want to sneeze. You're not going to get me. You're not going to get me. Are you going to build the Ultima Blade in the future? Ooh, the Ultima Blade would be a cool project. Which one, though? There's like 5. How many suits would you build before you would be willing to sell one of the old ones? This is actually a question people have been asking me about mine. Tony Welch. I don't know, man. I was actually just talking to somebody about this. I regret that this was my first suit. And what I mean by that is, this is going to sound like champagne problems, and a few of you are going to probably be like, what are you talking about? This suit sucks. I hate this suit. There are problems with it. Even though I didn't scale it, bits of it I wish I did. It's comfortable, it's okay to wear, but I made so many mistakes with it because I just didn't know what I was doing. I learned on this suit. But it is also my favorite suit. I love the Mark 85. So at the same time, it hurts that like it was my first suit, it's what I learned on. All the imperfections on it bug me, but it's like, do I go and make a new one? Like, do I remake this entire suit? Because I already have this suit. So maybe one day if I'm in the right spot, I would remake it. I make it better. I've just learned so goddamn much about the whole process that yeah, it's tricky. Like Star Boost is gonna come out just way better because all the mistakes I made on this thing, I won't make them on Star Boost. So it's yeah, first world problems. Yeah, tell me about it. So it is tricky. It is very tricky. I don't know how many suits I plan to make. I don't personally plan to become this big Iron Man cosplayer with like 9 suits, like 2 or 3 maybe. You know, that'd be fair for me. Will you print other Keyblades? Oh yeah, I love Keyblades. They're awesome. The Ultima from Kingdom Hearts 2. I want to see what that one is, because there's my personal favorite is the one from Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 2 Ultima. Ooh, that's a pretty one. Ooh, that one is very complicated. That one is mad intricate. You know what I like about the Ultima Blades is that there's a sword underneath them, but they didn't want to actually give Sora a sword, so they just put some like fancy crap on it. Maybe. Not 2. That's not my favorite one. 3 is my favorite. The white and black and red one. Ooh, old reliable. I just had a 16-hour print fail at 14. Oh, I'm sorry, Stefan. Damn. I'm sorry. It makes you happy at the same time it makes you sad. Yes, it does. It does. This is called dead air. Frank is being so basic right now. He needs a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks. Yes. So, we covered plastic welding. We covered getting your bed adhesion proper. Like I said, you guys need to consider how tall do you want to print that thing. Now, a lot of makers will give you different options. They'll pre-slice things. Like this Keyblade, this Keyblade file was made for like a Prusa Mark II or like an Ender 2, like small, and a Net A8. It was made for when printing was coming, 3D printing was just budding. So all the parts were cut really small, and there's no option for a bigger part print. Like I could print the entire Keyblade head and handle one shot, no problem, with the bigger printers. So depending on the files you find, they might be a little dated, they might be a little old. So you really have to just evaluate how you're actually going to line those up and how you're actually going to put those on the bed. And adding strength, adding metal rods. I actually, what print? It was Guts' Dragon Slayer sword. The file I got for that off of CG Trader had no channels for metal rods. So I actually dropped the handle in the mesh mixer and ran a negative cylinder through it, and that was the first time I edited a 3D model. And then I made a channel 4 metal rod, and that's actually pretty easy to do, and I plan to make a tutorial. Once I learn a little bit more about that, I want to make a very basic tutorial for adding pegs and rods and stuff to larger props, because, like I said, not all the parts come with them. Do3D's the Loki Scepter from Do3D did not come with, it came with a peg system, but it was still a 3D print plastic peg system, so it was still weak. It would have been cool if there were metal rods for it. So I want to kind of show you guys how to add those. I think that'd be very beneficial to larger things like this. So printing that stupid little boat. Let's see if I get adhesion with Frank's tips. Fingers crossed. Good luck, Joseph. I gotta go. Take care, Bruno. Frank, maybe we talk about the layer shift on big weapons. Layer shifting on big weapons. We'll come back to that. Making the suits, that's the right way, like Tony. Every single time it'll grow better and improve it. Yeah, that's true. Like the Ender 3, I have a glass bed. Should I use that or the original bed with painter's tape? I have both. I have the glass bed. Should I use that? I like the original bed on the Ender 3. The fiberglass bed. I love this thing. I only upgraded it. I don't know why I upgraded this. It was pointless for me to upgrade this to the magnetic bed. This thing worked fine. So that was it was stupid. All right, the Fusion Sword. That is a big project I would love to get if I could find a good file for it. I'm using the original bed right now with tape and it works. Just wondering if the glass is much. You're using the original fiberglass bed with tape? You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't need to do that. You should join the Discord. I've been talking for an hour and a half and I need to drink. So, sorry. I hope you guys are learning something. I hope this was of some value to some of you guys. I really do hope so. Nico's Fusion Sword, unfortunately, currently is unprintable because of some of the mesh errors in it. It doesn't fit together properly. What is your advice for a second printer? Depends. What do you want to make, and what printer do you have now? I think I saw, are you the one that has the Ender 3? Yep. I'm in the Discord, also without tape. Sometimes the prints pop off. Yeah, you need to clean it better then. Clean it better, and you might need to adjust your bed temperature. Yeah. So, sponsored by Coca-Cola. Last things I wanted to talk about, because I wanted to kind of just do I'll open the floor to general questions for the last half hour. So I think we'll do that. Yes, the fusion sword is the one from Advent Children. If anybody knows of a good printable file for that, I will gladly make that sword. I love that sword. It's awesome. So, with half an hour left, I think I will now open the floor to just general questions. Doesn't need to be about big props. If you could try to keep it topical, let's do that. But let me unplug the soldering iron so I don't burn myself. Ha! I'm gonna burn myself. Put that there. Sit that right there. Cool. Mic check. I want to make a Mark II suit. Look into the Creality CR10S Pro V2 or the Ender 5 Plus. I think they are quickly taking over the market as the best cosplay printers. What type of plastic do you use when printing these huge props? I use PLA Plus. I am very fond of Sunlu PLA Plus. However, they are discontinuing the Sunlu PLA Plus and swapping it out for PLA Pro or something, or Super PLA or something like that. SPLA, that's what it is. So I'm starting to switch to monoprice. I want to start looking. I've used monoprice PLA. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the Z sword is made of monoprice PLA Plus, and it's really strong. I also repainted the handle into a more orange gold, and it looks so damn nice. I'm very proud of this thing. I think this looks like a real sword. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Yeah. Like a metal sword? I don't know. To each his own. Can you show us that camo helmet? That looks sick. Here's the camo helmet. It is an all-white Iron Man helmet with vinyl stickers on top of it to give it the camo effect. I really need to finish this and get rid of it. Really, really, really need to do that. I'm sorry, Danny. Cool. You gotta redo your PLA welding vid. Also maybe a sanding tutorial, like how high grit you should go before you're good. I might redo those. Maybe as the channel keeps climbing, maybe I'll redo those, or like advanced PLA welding and advanced sanding. We'll go with that. I want to print just the helmet of the suit. The whole thing is just too much for me. You say that now, but you'll get bit by the bug. I'm thinking about printing guns from the Mass Effect series. After making one, I'm thinking about selling a few afterwards as kits. Is there a lot of problems with copyrights? Should the triggers work? Copyrights are a weird thing. It falls into like a Creative Commons kind of thing. You might need to ask on the Discord about that. There's a lot of information about copyrights and selling things, how you're supposed to title things, how you're supposed to sell things. If you, I don't know about the triggers either. That's tricky. Yep, agree with the sanding. Wait, why does the helmet behind the outer camo look like Thanos? Huh. I'm sad now. Interesting. Hey guys, you want to see some cool things I just got? Look at this. Look at it. Wait. Yeah. Does anyone know what this is for? And if you know what it's specifically for, don't like actually say it, but you can probably piece together like what this is for. So, hey, hello from not India. So as you guys saw in one of my recent videos, it was about utilizing flicker LEDs, these little dinky, Halloween candles and just decorations, and incorporating them into your cosplay. So what I did today is I actually got my hands on some more things. I got my hands on some, they're eyes that go into a pumpkin, and they actually change color. And I'm going to cannibalize these. And then I got my hands on some orange tea lights. And then I got my hands on these little ghost thing. Pretty cool. What's even cooler is when you take the Ghost off, this is the inside, and it's actually just a completely flat LED board. See that? It's literally just a flat board with all the chasing LEDs on it. So you could put this in anything. And if you guys have been following me on Instagram and TikTok, you know I've been making all the Infinity Stone props. The Tesseract Containment Unit, the Ether, the Orb, the Eye of Agamotto, and the Scepter. The last one is obviously going to be the Soul Stone. And I have big plans for the Soul Stone, but that's a big old secret. And I don't even know where the stone is. There it is. Here's the Soul Stone. And it's very much going to... it's going to glow orange, of course, but you guys don't know what I'm making for it. See? The Soul Stone. Ooh. Actually, I can probably like put it on my palm like that. Ha ha. Yeah. So I got big plans. Obviously, orange lights are going to come in handy for whatever I'm doing. I love this thing. This is like $5. I think, as per suggestion from my wife, she said, I think I'm going to make a specific tutorial about repurposing video props like this. The newer one, the flicker LED kind of covers that, but I want to get a little bit more broad in it instead of just like eyes. For a sword, you should try aluminum tape like Adam Savage did. I did want to try that Zoom Films. I did see that. I do want to try that. The Soul Stone? Yeah. Are you making the stones out of resin? Yes, these are resin cast stones. I have a tutorial on that. All my stones are resin cast. I got all of them right here. If you guys only following me on YouTube, you haven't seen any of the props yet, except the Power Orb. I'm working on tutorials for all of them. Vision's head with the stone in it? No, the Mind Stone is in Loki's Scepter. That one's already done. What's the best printer for building the suit within financial reason? Mixer Sparrow Tiger 609. Yeah. Creality CR10S. Look up that one. Frank, what is your bed temp for PLA Plus? I run 60 for Sunlu PLA Plus. Yes. I haven't posted really anything about it yet, but I did just finish the Mind Stone, or the Mind Stone, the Time Stone. Oh. I didn't sand off the Z seam, and now I got to be careful which way I display this. Isn't that cool? Yeah. I'm very proud of this. It's a little magnetic reed switch on the back and a little turning mechanism. So I can open the eye and turn the Time Stone on. And yes, the Time Stone is sitting in there, and I can take it out, and we're going to do some cool stuff with it eventually. So yeah, tutorials coming out for all of this stuff. Most of these files are free on Thingiverse. So, oh yeah, and then also the base lights up too. That was just for funsies. Yeah, why not? I have a lot of cool things coming out. And then update videos for the Mark 85 and 39. I promise they're coming. Any suggestions on incorporating sound into props, perhaps something like Jarvis? I have no suggestions on that, Leon. I haven't dabbled into that. Some people in my Discord definitely have, though. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Soda. That's amazing. That and the necklace would be sick. Yeah, I actually just ordered the leather to make the necklace, so we're going to see how that goes. I hope you get prouder in the upcoming version, too. Oh, yeah. Hopefully. A reed switch, you don't say. Reed switches are awesome. Reed switches are awesome. Yes. So, yeah, we got a couple of cool just toys and props, and just I've been collecting and repurposing things. I literally have a bunch of coin batteries and LEDs just sitting around, getting ready to make some cool stuff. Of course I'm live. You guys are all watching. I'm excited. Let's see. Would love to see Frank buying all these things and the reaction of the cashier thinking they're all from reductions when actually something way more intense. I mean, I just browse. I browse like anybody, and I'll stare at stuff and be like, all right, this can be repurposed for that. This can be repurposed for this. So it all works. George Gundam 00. What do you want to achieve in 2 or 3 years? I don't know. If I'm being honest, I am at a crossroads currently in my career and life, and in the sense that I'm in the military right now, and I'll talk about this live. It's actually a good topic. And me and Kayla are even talking about it because we obviously need to. I'm in a position where right now my contract for the military ends in 2 years, and at that point I need to make a choice. Do I re-enlist for 2 or 4 or 6 more years, or do I get out? Or do I go into the reserves? Do I go into the guard, kind of part-time military kind of thing? And I'm very much flipping around doing this full-time. Not so much full-time YouTuber. The YouTube would be an additive to it, but making props. I've gotten some amazing reception from a lot of this stuff, and I, quite frankly, don't have time to keep up. So, yeah. Oh, hi, it's Kevo. What's up? Yes, and thank you. I don't think I've talked about this. Did I talk about it last live? I don't remember. My memory's telling. We are almost at 12,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much. Oh my god. We just hit 77,000 on TikTok. I guess I'm a TikToker now, so that's fun. Sorry, Mom. At Instagram, we're at 20.5 thousand, or we're over 20,000 on Instagram. What? Thank you. Thank you so much for all of this. Thank you. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. This is so cool. Mine ends in 3 years. As of right now, I'll be getting out. Yeah, it could all change. Depending on our next assignment, which we get in December, it could all change. We could decide, hey, we want to re-enlist. We could end up back in the States and realize I want to get out, do this part-time. Yeah. Sorry, Mom. I hit 0.6. Hell yeah. Does your mom know what TikTok is? She might. My nephew might be on it soon. I don't know. Glad I popped in for the stream. How often do you stream? Leon, I try to stream twice a month. I used to stream every Sunday, but it was too much. So I try to stream twice a month. Usually the first weekend and the third Sunday. It's always 8 p.m., always British Standard Time, London time. Check out my Instagram and the Discord to find out when I'm actually planning on streaming. I try to get the word out at least like a week in advance, or like 4 or 5 days in advance at the minimum. So, yes. I'm not going to talk too much on it because there is a side of this that I don't advertise. I don't do this for profit. I try to make profit from it to do this. I hope that makes sense. I sell prints on the side to continue to fund this. While the YouTube, obviously I'm monetized. You guys see the ads. While YouTube helps, the Patreon helps. Oh my god, the Patreon helps. The affiliate links helps. I still have projects that I want to do on my side that I don't want to use all that money for. I want to use the money, back into the channel. But I have my own projects, and so I do sell things on the side, and I don't even advertise. I don't post up Instagram saying, hey, come buy this Iron Man suit, come buy this helmet. I might throw something in my story, but the amount of requests for commissions, the amount of requests for props and all this stuff that I turn down every single day. I'm not even talking about in a week or a month. Just a single day. It really has me reconsidering my career moving forward. But I have to be careful because suddenly turning this from a hobby into a career could suck the fun out of it, and I gotta be careful about that. Nerds aren't going anywhere. The niche might change, the tastes might change. Marvel could drop off tomorrow, but there'll always be something, and I don't know. The cosplay world is changing with coronavirus and COVID-19. Who knows? So I don't know. Can you do the job you do part-time, or is it full-time only? That's tricky, kind of. You are a really good YouTuber. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. YouTube Premium here. Haven't seen an ad in years. I'll be sure to catch every stream from now on. I follow it on Insta. Stay awesome, man. Take care, Leon. I appreciate you tuning in, man. Yeah. So it's tricky. It's very tricky. Or do I just keep this on the side, push through the military, do my 20, get my retirement? I don't know. It's pretty effortless right now being in the military. It is. It's easy. It's easy. It's an easy paycheck. It's easy money. It's easy living. It's easy travel. Somebody at work actually put it into. It's like you never left mom and dad's, and what I mean by that is everything's kind of taken care of for you. You always have a place to live. You always have money for food. You always have money for rent. You always have health care. It's different. So, not saying I couldn't survive. I lived in the private sector. I had jobs before I enlisted. But it's different. It's a different life. Raid Shadow Legends. Remember when we spoke about before, Frank, turning a hobby into a job can really suck the fun out of it? It can. It absolutely can. As someone trying to get into props, is it profitable selling props, or do you make more money from YouTube? I will openly say I make way more money from making props. YouTube is a hit and miss. If people aren't watching, you're not making revenue. So it's tricky. But even making props can be very competitive because I have something that some people don't have. I have an audience. I have 20,000 of you on Instagram. I have 75,000 of you on TikTok. I have an audience, so I don't need to advertise. Where somebody's starting this up just to get into prop selling, you need to then find your market. I already found mine. My market comes to me. So it's a very different dynamic, and I'm not one to speak on getting started to just start selling props. I have no idea how to do that. I am a bad medium for that. I am a bad, I feel like I'd be an outlier for that in that equation. You wouldn't factor me into that because I started doing it after I already had the audience. So I can't, oh yeah, man, you're gonna wanna do this, and you're gonna wanna make this, and you're gonna wanna post on Etsy and this and fake. I have no friggin' idea. So, yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. Is there any of that gold paint left, or did you paint already? Is the same used? Yes, so I did the Z-Sword first, and then the round details for the containment unit failed. I had a filament jam, so yeah, that sucks. So I have to finish printing those, and then that'll be it for the containment unit. The plastic for the container should get here tomorrow. Your YouTube algorithm can also be a real beast to fight against. By the way, don't forget to like the video. What's up, David Ross? Coming in near the end of the stream. I got 13 minutes left. Welcome. You can rewatch it all. It's informative. Yeah, no problem. Kibo, if you want, Kibo, whatever. If you want to talk more about that, message me on Instagram. I'll give you some more insights on it. This isn't the place to talk about it. But just on what I've seen, and yeah. And I try to remind everybody of that. I am an anomaly. Though I've only been 3D printing for about 1.5 years since last July. Yes, I've only been doing this hobby since then. I've been building Gundam models since I was a kid. I have been working on cars since I was a teenager. I know how to paint. I know how to do wiring, electronics. I know computers. So I have a lot of other skills that just fit into 3D printing beautifully. So I had a leg up. I just found a new place to apply it. So I try to be very careful when I tell you guys, yeah, this is easy. Like, just get a printer and you can make a helmet. I know my TikTok videos might kind of come off like that, but my TikTok, I'm going to be honest, is just an advertisement for my YouTube. My TikTok is to get you here. That's all it's for. And I have a little bit of fun with it, which is cool. But I want to teach you guys how to do it. But I also want to keep in mind that it isn't for everybody. Like, it isn't. There needs to be a slight level of complexity to it. I can't paint it as buy a printer, hit print, go, sand, and then you'll suddenly have something that looks like this. No, there is work that goes into it, and you guys need to be willing to do the work. What the hell, Kivo, with the $5 Canadian. Thank you so much. You didn't need to do that, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much, dude. Hey, John Rourke. Time to print something interesting. Hey, Joseph, it's working. That's awesome. Making videos is wicked easy. Making TikToks is pretty easy, actually. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I really have been. It's dumb. I care less about it, but people have been receptive. I'm gonna say this on YouTube right now. I am angry about TikTok. Right now, my most viewed video is this. I'm a rant. This is a rant time. My most viewed video is this damn power orb from Guardians of the Galaxy. And it lights up. It lights up, but then it doesn't light up, but it lights up. There's a reed switch hidden inside of it, so when the magnet comes close, it turns on. And then it came out great, and there's a tutorial coming out, but this is currently my most liked viewed video on TikTok. Come on, guys. It's like, this beat out this, so it's funny. It's funny how the algorithm works. It's disheartening, I'm gonna be honest. It's just like, I made a whole damn suit, but this print that took 2 days beat it, so it's funny. But now I have a bigger audience to now show off my suit, and I have a lot of funny videos planned for this thing involving all the Infinity Stone props, and involving some pretty cool stuff coming up, so yeah. I think it's funny. Hell yeah, Geeky Pete. You're such a TikTok person. Shut up. Playing Fortnite. I saw you on TikTok. Yeah, it happens. You should do the Chris Pratt thing and drop it. That's for the YouTube video. Stop spoiling all the fun. Frankly, renting. Because it's cool. Yeah, go figure. All you had to do, yeah. I saw a girl with a 3D printed suit with almost 1 million on TikTok today. Yeah, you're talking about Emily the Engineer, aren't you? I know who you're talking about. Was make a free orb. Yes. Dance battle to save the universe. Yeah. Galaxy? Yeah. What are you doing? I'm a distraction, bro. Poof. That's a good movie. That's a good movie. I gotta watch it again. What I should have done before making some of those TikToks, and I'm going to do before making the videos, is I'm going to rewatch the applicable movies. Yeah, Emily, I know Emily. She's awesome. And Kiara, and CTK is coming up. Danny, he's climbing. If anybody wants to go grab CTK Cosplay or CTK Creations, Danny's Instagram, and drop a link for that, because he's been a good supporter and a good friend for quite a while, and you guys should go subscribe to or follow him on Instagram. He's climbing. He's the guy with the whole Infinity Gauntlet on with all the chasing lights and shit. It is wild. Go follow him on Instagram. He deserves it. And then go check out Kiara Builds and Emily the Engineer. They are awesome. Yeah. What are you doing? I'm a distraction, man. You big dummy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and watch Guardians of the Galaxy again, just to refresh my memory, because there are a lot of, deep cut jokes. I'm going to go watch Avengers. Doctor Strange, Thor 2, even though I don't want to watch Thor 2. Oh my god. And then the Soul Stone, I'll just watch Infinity War again, I guess, and Endgame, because they're both great. I'm creeping. Hey, CTK Creations. Yeah, Chris, thank you. Yeah, go check out his Instagram. It's climbing. He deserves it. He deserves way more followers than he has. So yeah, please just start blowing him up. He'll be like, where is this coming from? Yeah, it'll be funny. Danny's a good dude. He's been around for a while. He's been one of my OG, I don't even say just friends, just on Instagram. Yes, I will always point at things you can't see. Take it easy, Astronaut. Thank you for tuning in. Guys, we have 7 minutes left on the stream, 2 hours. So get in your final questions, your final comments, concerns, curiosities. Do you want to see anything? I can show you real quick. I can talk on something. If not, yeah. I like the Dark World. That made me want to have Mjolnir. I'm sorry. It's not bad. It's, okay, I think it's the worst Marvel movie, but it's still not like a bad movie, which is saying something. Like, it's still watchable. And it was the first time we learned that, you know, like, oh, damn, the Aether and the Tesseract are Infinity Stones. Like, what? So it set up Phase 2, which it was supposed to. It was filler. Yes. What else? What else we got in the pipeline? Tomorrow I'm going to try to film the Z-Sword video, Guts' Dragon Slayer video. I got some filming to do. I'm not ready to film the videos on the Infinity props yet because there's still more work I want to do with some gimmicks. With some reed switches, with some trickery, some deception that I still want to do. So don't hold your breath for the Infinity weapon, the Infinity holder videos for a little while because I want them to be right. It's going to be a really cool series of probably 7 or 8 videos. A video dedicated to each prop, and then a really cool video at the end. And then I'm making something at the very end of all of this that's going to be even cooler. It's going to test my limits of thing. What's your favorite at the moment? MCU movies. Endgame, as a compilation. Favorite standalone though? So, it's a tie between Iron Man 3 and Winter Soldier because they were both amazing. The new design of Mjolnir was there. Ah, true. I'm a big Natalie Portman fan, so that kind of helped the movie, but yeah, that's true. Danny is totally awesome. He is. How long did Mjolnir take to print, Geeky Pete? The Hammerhead, let me grab Mjolnir. Let me show off some of Q's work over here, you know, of the guy. So, Mjolnir, this Hammerhead took, it's a 5% infill. 5% infill, so it's light. And I want to say the Hammerhead took 18 hours. It was printed on an Ender 3, just like that. Oh no, kidding, just like that. Yeah. And I cut the handle off, cut it in half, printed it. This was no more than a 24-hour print total. This was a very quick print. There was a metal rod in it for strength. I might reprint it. I still want to add leather. This is just brown spray paint right now for looks. I still want to add some leather to it. Quinton S just updated. There are so many different files for this that he has, like all in one. You can print so many different versions. I want to reprint one of those other versions. This is the free Thingiverse one I printed for the YouTube tutorial. I might go and print his actual paid file next. Yeah, to see how much better it comes out. It comes apart in different ways. So yeah, this is such a good starter print for props. Because you can do it on an Ender. Like, this is such a good, just like, let me test the water on making a thing, you know? This is a cool print. Frank snaps his gauntlet and half his props vanish. Don't even say that. Great stuff. What is the best bed for a standard Creality CR10? Look into the Ultra Base, the Creality Ultra Base Premium bed. It's a glass bed with a microporous surface. I am falling in love with them. They are amazing. What is your favorite weapon from the MCU? That's a good question, actually. Huh. The Iron Man suits. I'm gonna call them a weapon. Glad to help. You are. Look at this paint job. Look at it. It's so shiny. I'm starting to like intentionally tarnish it because Mjolnir is not this shiny. Like, this is too clean to be Mjolnir. Did you already do the Keyblade? Which Keyblade? That Keyblade? Yes. I'm doing another one. I have a couple. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Can we get a better look at the camo Iron Man helmet? I already showed you that, Chandler. You missed it. You missed it, man. They give me repeat stuff. Yeah, this is the camo helmet. Does the suit count as a weapon? Yes, it can kill things. It can hurt things and kill things. I call it a weapon. This is a all-white spray-painted helmet with vinyl stickers on it. So, one cap grabs it, it looks a bit shiny. Yeah, it was pretty... Well, that Mjolnir hadn't been used yet. Remember? That, I mean, I guess it did. It was in Full of the Dark World, so yeah, it had been used. Yeah, it did look kind of shiny. My back is itchy, sorry. So that does it for this stream, guys. We're in the last minute. We're in the countdown. And I really appreciate all you guys tuning in. I love doing these. These are the more structured live streams where I try to teach you guys something. I do have a Twitch where I just randomly stream me working on projects. It's not as structured. You just come hang out. We can talk and BS. It's way less structured than this, and it's just me hanging out. It's uncensored, unfiltered, or unplugged, I guess, if we're talking things like that. No, it's okay, man. Chandler, go back and watch the live stream. You might learn something. It's really exciting, and I really appreciate all you guys watching. Again, I really like doing this. I have so many videos coming out. I have so many projects in work. I'm wrapping them all up. So many cool ideas. So many cool ideas with that. Mark 39, I promise, is happening. It is. I'm trying to clear my workbench to focus on the Mark 39 because I don't want to half-ass the Mark 39. So please be patient for that. I promise. I'm in the stages where I can start welding everything together and fitting it all. So it's going to be for some cool videos. Zoom, no, I can't. Not right now. In another video. Oh, the Mark 85 suit in the background. Would you say the files are worth? Yes, 100%. Kevo, DM me on Instagram, man. We got to talk about a lot of things. And about everything under the sun. Yes. Oh, I have a discount code, Kevo. Yeah. I'll save you 20%. So please, yes, join the Discord. If you are one of my patrons or MVPs, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for everything, all of this. My mods, my MVPs, my patrons, like, thank you so goddamn much. Thank you for all the support, all the love. I never thought, like, come on. Like, I would not have a quarter of this shit if it wasn't for you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I really hope you guys stay safe, wear a mask, be nice. To quote Kyle Hill one time in this video, because I don't want to steal his stuff, be kind, because this is all we got. So be nice to each other. And I really appreciate it, everybody. So thank you so much.